What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown Podcast. As always, I am your host, Michael, alongside the man of the hour, Mr. Jeff himself.
Hello.
My other host to the left of that, maybe you're right. We have Big Deadly Grin. Mr. Evan, what's going on, dude?
What up?
And our special guest this week going to help us go over the news and give us her thoughts and opinions on what's going on in the world of gaming news today. We have Miss Stephwa. I love saying that. So great. All right. So how's everybody's week been? What's going on? What's been going on with us in the gaming world for us? What have we been playing? Anything new and exciting?
That's the new exciting stuff.
Yeah,
All the new exciting
the
stuff?
season for Apex came out this week, so
Hell yeah! What's your
this week?
thoughts on it?
I love it. It's fun. I like the new legend for sure.
Is it?
Who's the new one?
Fuse.
What's their ability?
So he has this grenade launcher, like shoots out a ball, and then like little tiny balls come out, and it hits all the peoples. And then he also has a passive where he can hold more than one grenade per spot. With all the other legends, it's just one grenade per spot in the backpack. And then his ultimate is like this big giant cannon, and it has like a ring of fire around everybody, trap them in there.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, it seems like a little OP, but
He is a little OP for sure.
it's gonna be some fine tuning, I guarantee, down the line. What else did they add? Anything new other than a new legend, like new maps or anything? Or
They brought back the first map, but there's changes to the map because the lore behind it shows that a big airship crashed onto it, and there's big giant holes and craters and oil spills everywhere.
oh, I forgot there's lore in this game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a big lore to that game.
I had no idea because there's no campaign tied to it, right? It's just like, hey, hi, multiplayer. Like, that's
Right.
it.
Battle Royale.
Yeah,
Go.
I wish there would be a campaign on
That
there.
would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. That or
do
like
that,
TV series or something.
Yeah, something like an anime or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't mind like a.
Titan. That's what they did with Titanfall 1. It was like just the one thing, and then the second one came out, they actually attached a campaign to it.
I wouldn't mind
Titanfall 2 is so
seeing
good, dude.
like a
It's made by the same people too. So
camera shake, Jeff. I wouldn't.
I know. I was doing this on my desk.
Now it's picking at you from that comment in your chat last night.
Oh, on Rocket League?
Yeah.
I was like,
Camera shake, man. Camera shake.
I had no idea they were talking about gameplay camera. I was like,
I mean, I wouldn't mind having like a separate, like I know this will be, asking for a lot, but I wouldn't mind like a 4 to 6 hour like campaign kind of telling their story for like each person. I think it'd be kind of cool.
They kind of have something like that on their YouTube channel. They have their own little animated series, but it's not like, episode 1 and then like this happens. It's just like a little background story about them. It doesn't tell you much, but they do have something like that. They just need to turn it into a series, honestly.
Oh yeah.
that'd be cool.
hypothetically, because I've thought about this about Destiny a lot. How would you feel about like a live action movie or mini series of Apex, like with the core legends that were in the very beginning,
Yeah.
like Bloodhound and all them?
I
Make
don't
it
know,
an anime.
man. I think it needs to be like an animation, not in real life. Though, I don't know. Have you guys seen Sweet Home on Netflix? Oh, okay. Well, there's an app on the phone. It's called Webtoons, and it's like comics, and it's like people who like make their own comics, and they post it on there, and people can read them or whatever. Well, somebody had made a live action one of the comic, and it's like so good. It's Korean based, so it's like it's in Korean, and like the actors in there look like the people from the freaking comic, and it's amazing. But I'm still kind of iffy on actual like real people playing as people that I've been playing games for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
All right. I was
This
just
would be really hard shoes to fill, I think.
Yeah, it's just the only reason I was thinking that is because like I remember way back in the day when Destiny was doing promos for when the game first came out, and then when Destiny 2 was coming out, they did a bunch of live action like 30, 45 second commercials, and I remember them being really awesome. I'm thinking how cool that would look, and I was just thinking to myself, like, Apex would seem pretty neat, like, as a live action, but maybe not. Maybe anime or a cartoon or something, or like CGI shit might look a little bit better. But
Yeah, I just don't know what character. Like, if I'm thinking about movie stars, I'm like trying to think which ones would be good for which character, and it's kind of hard. I think.
yeah, who's your main in there?
It used to be Wraith, but now it's Horizon. I'm trying to get used to her. I like her a lot.
I like Horizon.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Lifeline or Bloodhound.
Yeah.
More Bloodhound than anybody, but
And
when I do play,
those like helpful characters.
I like
that
the
help other
robot.
teammates.
yeah, I just like Bloodhound because like I get scared in that game a lot, so it's like any new area or new like building I go into, I'm like, yeah, let me hit that scanner. So I want to know. Like, I guess I'm like paranoid.
A little baby.
Like when we play Phasmo, I'm gonna be like, hey, is there a sensor in here? Like, can I get one of those?
What about you, Jeff? Man, what you got going on?
So, I haven't touched console gaming this week except for maybe once.
Same.
I've been doing PC stuff. Like we've been grinding out the Division. Tried to do the Division last night on the charity stream. That was not happening. What else? We did Rocket League last night. First time playing the game ever, and I was on mouse and key, so it was just the worst experience for me. But I had so much fun. Like it was a really good time. What else? What else did I play? Oh, and I started my new management position.
Hell yeah.
Congratulations, dude.
No, we're.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I mean, there's like it's a little bit of a pay hike, but it also comes with a lot more responsibility.
Anytime you ever do that, I'm just gonna remind you that you came from a mattress on the floor, and that we are all very proud of you.
The rundown reverse retrospect right now. Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're just saying that.
Yeah.
Look where you started with, bro. And now look at you now.
You have your own house and you're a manager. Like, come on,
He's
bro.
got his own house. He's got his own car. I forgot what the rest of the song is, but it's like Independent or something.
I'm a savage. Right?
Whipping in it. Well, no, dude, that's fantastic, and I mean, I know it sucks, but I'm sure it'll get better.
No, it's so funny because like I moved from the sales floor, my sales floor office, into the finance office, and so like that's a weird thing, right? Because like
you walk in the door and you go left instead of right.
Well yeah. So like the sales office is in the showroom, right? And there's four offices, and we're all there. We're all intermingled. Like we're like, hey, what's up? But obviously, like, hey, there's glass, so it's not like pandemic or whatever. And then the owner is in his office next to all those, and then my office is down the hall to the right on the other side of the building, and I'm by my fucking self.
Is that weird, or do you like that?
I would like that.
It's weird.
I like having my own little space.
Like, go away.
But I went from 4 years of being in that sales office to
Like
being in that new office, and it's like it's dead over here. And it's like, and if there's nothing to do, right? Because like I don't catch customers anymore, right? Like I'm not working the lot, so it's like, hey, what do I do? Like I'm sitting, I sit in my office. I'm just like, what do I do with my hands?
Your thumbs.
Yeah, like it's.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah.
It's an adjustment period. So it's exciting. I'm nervous still, which is weird because I've been doing the same thing for the last 2 years, but like going back and forth. But now it's like an official thing. I don't have to harass people anymore, and it's nice. I enjoy that part, but yeah. So other than that, but back to gaming. Yeah, just doing the Division mostly on PC.
Hell yeah, dude. What about you, Mr. Evan? What's going on with you, man?
Pretty much the same, dude. Been grinding out the Division. We had that issue after the update, so had to uninstall it, reinstall it. And that seemed to work for you and I, but not so much Hefe. Yep, doing the Rocket League thing now. Seems like a lot of my friends are playing it, so I think it's super fun to get into.
I think that's been like 2 of our main games this week have been just the Division 2 and Rocket League.
Yeah. I'm not mad at it.
I mean, it's kind of dry right now, you know?
Yeah. I got a few games that I want to kind of throw into the rotation, but...
Yeah, I'm going to start Metro, I think, soon, too. Yeah, I don't know if that's got crossplay or co-op or multi or whatever. I don't think it does. But Evan, do you remember... We still had to finish Wolfenstein, dude.
Yeah, y'all were talking about that last week.
Yeah, that game is fun as hell, except for your run button doesn't toggle. So like you're doing this, like you got the reverse pinky going the whole time. So that sucks.
Yeah, I'll commit to that and then back out at the last second.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. Shade.
Okay, well, this is a rundown podcast where we go over news each and every week. This week on our list, we have everything from a new Call of Duty game coming out this year to the Prince of Persia remake has been delayed, and how are Destiny players feeling about the PC crossplay event, and a whole lot more. I'm going to try something a little new here, and I don't know what I'm going to call it. Maybe I'm going to call it the rundown roundup. Kind of give everybody a little heads up on what's going on this week, just kind of give you a little bit more insight. So first things first, I know you heard about it all. If you weren't tuned into the rundown retrospect like you should have, you should be ashamed of yourself. We had Miss Wonderful Steph Wah on the rundown retrospect this week, and you will be able to catch that next week on YouTube and next week on all of your podcast services that you prefer to listen to, whether it be Spotify, Google, or Apple Music. We are partnering with Extra Life, who is partnering with MUSC for a charity event that we're going to be doing through the whole month of February and the month of March as well, to help help raise money for kids who
raise kids for money.
Yeah, raise kids for money. Who need help, and they need medical supplies, and they need money for everything that's going on during this pandemic that we're all going through. So please, even if you can't donate, just help get the word out, retweet, read the page. That's all I want. I know myself, Evan and Jeff and I, we are all asking that if you do want to donate bits or a sub or anything like that, don't even worry about it. We don't need it. We're very thankful. But just throw that into the donation, and that'll make us super happy. If we can hit that $1,000 goal, we'll find something to do to ourselves, like maybe give Jeff another hot chip, or I'll shave my beard, whatever the case may be.
Don't come for the mustache. If you come for the stash, I'll stab you, dude.
So yeah, that's all about that. Second on the rundown roundup is coming up here shortly. We will have a new line of shows coming out for you. We will be doing the rundown review, which we are going to be going over all of, we're going to start out with the Star Wars movies, rundown review. We're just going to take a big dive deep into reviewing and talking about, all different movies, comic books, nerd stuff that's out there. So I think first we're going to do the Star Wars movies. Those are going to be straight to YouTube. So please go to youtube.com/The Rundown Podcast and check all that stuff out. It's going to be super fun. It's going to have a great time. And we can't wait to have you there. I think with all that being said, are y'all ready to jump into it?
Let's do it.
Full send.
All right. Hell yes. You know what? Let's go ahead and start out to it today. The new Call of Duty game coming late 2021. Activision confirms. This is by Alyssa Mersanti over at Games Radar. Activision has confirmed in an earnings call that a new Call of Duty title will release later this year. According to Activision's Blizzard Q4 2020 earnings call, transcribed by the Motley Fool, the the earnings call includes Activision CFO Dennis Durkin discussing what the company has in store for the Call of Duty franchise, which has the largest player community it has ever had to start a year in 2021. It is no surprise then that the Activision has another strong premium release planned for Q4 in 2021. The Call of Duty franchise has been wildly successful this last year or so, with the free-to-play Call of Duty Warzone bringing in tons of new players, and Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War bringing back the ever-popular Zombies mode with the integration of the two. Activision has shown that it's determined to keep Warzone a constant in the Call of Duty universe while threading in a new standalone titles. Unsurprisingly, Activision didn't share any details about the upcoming 2021 Call of Duty game. We have no idea the subject matter may be or which developer may get behind it. Considering the loose pattern of Black Ops Treyarch titles offset by Infinity War games, I expect the next title to fall outside the Black Ops subseries, with a continuation of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare storyline looking a little bit more likely. Black Ops Cold War was released in November 13th of 2020, which is a standard Call of Duty practice, so that the next title in the Call of Duty franchise will likely launch in a similar time frame this year around the holidays for sure. No surprise, right? New year, new Call of Duty game.
New year, new COD.
They always
Normal agenda.
they always release during the holidays. That's what they do. It's always around that September, October time frame. The only thing that I'm kind of unsure about with this is the article's right, who exactly is going to get behind it, because for a long time there it was, they went in a pattern. It was Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and I can't remember who the other one was. They always go in that line. And then here in the past couple years, they've mixed that pattern up. And then with Modern Warfare's, ending the way that it happened, I could see that being the next game. But what do y'all think?
Is it going to be like, so you know how Cold War came out and then it was like, hey, there's like multiplayer and zombies, but then they still integrated Warzone into it.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just going to be like, oh, hey, here's fucking whatever this is called, Modern Warfare, whatever they want to call it. Here's some new guns, here's some new multiplayer maps, and then still do Warzone? Or do you think Warzone's going to evolve in this one? Maybe
I'd imagine them maybe coming out with either a new map, or they'll find a way to change the map, or
Looks like
They're
they're
definitely-
not going to get rid of Warzone, I don't think.
no.
Yeah, exactly. That's too
Not
profitable
anytime
for them. Yeah, because even if all you get is the free to play Warzone, people are still chucking in $20 every month, 3 months for the season pass, right? So,
Well, usually if you play through the season pass, you'll get enough currency to get the next one. But
I forgot about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
people like cosmetic shit. Sometimes you see one and you're like, I have to.
Yeah.
That's me.
Warzone's big as shit. But also, Michael, I'm really glad that you brought up this article, because also Activision this week got sued from the company that made this game called hang on, I just had it pulled up. It's called November Renaissance, because they used the character likeness of a person that exists in real life.
Yeah, from a dude's photograph. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So Alex Zedra, who's a huge Twitch streamer, she does guns and stuff and cosplayer, all that stuff. But so she plays Mara in she was Mara in season 1 of Warzone, and now they're getting sued a year later by a company because they have the same person, because it's a character model and it's graphic.
So here's my two arguments with that suing. Number one is, I love how they decided to sue a year later after the game has finally become one of the most profitable games in the world. Number two, my argument with that is those people, the character and that person, to me personally, look nothing alike. That character in that video game looks way more like Steph Wild than it does that other person that they're accusing it to be. It
is Steph Wild, and we didn't know it.
I don't know how everybody else feels, but those two characters look nothing alike to me. The only thing that those two characters have in common is they both have black hair and a ponytail. That is it. The nose don't look the same. The forehead doesn't look the same. The lips, the chin, none of that shit looks the same. It's that somebody is just money hungry. That's what that is.
Yeah, just go ahead and sue Kojima for using whoever that girl is that played Ghost. Like it's the same thing, right? Like black hair, ponytail.
Here you go. I got one. New York. New York uses bicyclists as like transportation for parcels and shit like that, right? Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's Death Stranding for you. They're doing the exact same thing.
Yep.
You know, let's sue the post office. Like, no, that's stupid. You just the earnings call came out as soon as the earning, and that was another thing that was so funny about it was the earnings call came out, and then the sue came out. They waited.
Right,
they waited for that earnings call to come out
because they wanted to see how much Activision was going to be worth to see how much they could get out of it.
Exactly.
Like, yep. But yeah, there's a method to every madness, dude. It's disgusting and it's a corporate thing. It doesn't affect us, right? But like it could to a degree because it could taint the company's image, or they could lose. Like if this the lawsuit was successful on that, whatever the fuck name of that company is, successful, they could lose enough money to have to cut back on some things in game just to save money, right?
Are you looking at the character model, Evan?
Yeah, they look pretty similar to me.
So do they look similar enough for you to sue?
Like, if I didn't read the story, I'd have thought that was the same person.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, hold on. Let
But
me see.
it is the same person because it's a real person.
right.
They're
Right, so
scanned.
they use the same character model.
But see, I thought they didn't use the same character model.
It's the same It's a likeness.
Yeah, it's the likeness
kinda
of it.
look
Yeah.
like-
Yeah, but you're still scanning the same person, dude. That would be like Star Wars or Lucasfilm suing Disney,
Mhm.
right? Even though they're owned by Disney, because Paul Bettany is in Star Wars and the Avengers, right? That's you can't they can't do that. Like it's the same
I
fucking
feel
person.
I feel like that's fucky because they hired Alex Zedra or whatever.
Yeah,
to
that's the guy.
portray,
Yeah.
the chick, right? And then
Yeah.
Activision also hired. So I feel like since it's the same person to do a job, like I feel like that's kind of a fucky thing to do.
I like what Logic Bomb said,
They're
but
not
if
gonna
he
win
follows
that.
through with the lawsuit, it's going to cost him so much money, and Activision, being as huge as they are, can afford great lawyers and will barely notice the losses.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
There's
No.
pennies to
No.
them, but
No.
I feel like if I got hired to do a character model, okay, that's for that game. But if I get hired down the line, I feel like they should be separate and they shouldn't conflict with each other because they're based on me as a person.
right.
Have you ever heard of this short story?
No.
Yeah.
No. So maybe it's a publicity stunt as well, because now you guys are talking about this.
Could be. Well, all right. So, with all that being said, let's. What were your thoughts on the Lindsay Lohan Rockstar lawsuit? What did y'all think about that one?
Well, see, she wasn't. She wasn't like their character model, but they essentially used like a picture of her or something.
They
Her
used like her
likeness.
pose or whatever, right? They used a pose that she did in a
Yeah.
bikini, but then made
Something
like the
like
the.
Yeah, but that's
graphic.
like saying you can't look like somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like
There's
okay,
people that look like a lot of same people.
And that's my argument through this whole thing.
I
Is that's
thought that
basically
was stupid. I thought that was kind of stupid, but I could see myself, if I had to pick one, agreeing more with that than this, because this chick was straight up hired by two different people, two different times, and they just used her.
Jeff. You
Yeah.
mind
Yeah.
you mind going over Logic Bomb's comment?
Oh,
That's not
yeah, talking about one person offering their acting services to two studios, not one person offering their model to one service, and then someone else using that model without permission. All right, so I get what you're saying, Logic. My question though is like that each studio hires the same person, right? It's up to that individual studio to change whatever likeness there is, right?
Right.
So like.
I'd say if she wasn't hired by Activision years later, and they created that character model from scratch, okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
But because it's the same person, the same hired person, you shouldn't
Yeah.
be able to do that.
It also comes back to what Michael was saying before. it's a fucking year later, dude. Like, you missed the boat, man. Like,
See, I always thought there needs to be some sort of statute of limitations on that.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Not to sound like a dick, but yes, I completely agree with that. It's like you can't wait a year.
That person doesn't own the way that she looks, especially if she was
Right.
again hired by another company. They should be able to use her image if they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about the likeness of being how they styled her. Yeah, I get it. Like they do look they look pretty similar, right? I get it.
Yep.
But
I
also
bet you nobody's even asking you how she feels about it.
right. But
Rude.
yeah, she's probably laughing her ass off, to be honest with you. She's like, fuck it,
Yeah,
I work
she's
for
like, y'all are
They're
fucking-
fighting over me. They're fighting over me.
Well,
Now
no, 'cause
she's gotta go to freaking court and deal with
Yeah.
that stuff now.
But dude, this chick works for
You
like
don't own me.
she has her own modeling thing. She works for Black Rifle Coffee Company. She doesn't work for them. She like advocates for them, so she gets commission from that. She has a Twitch stream where she averages like 1,500 people per stream. Right? She doesn't give a fuck, dude.
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
Because for one, she already got her paycheck, right?
Right.
And she's one of the most prolific characters that has ever been used in Warzone.
Yeah. That would
Um,
be like a Funko Pop version of her coming out and then suing Funko for fucking looking like Alex Zedra, you know?
yeah.
Well, doesn't this base the argument around no two arts are the same?
Yeah, I mean, unless it's like a duplicate copy that, or like a fake copy. But yeah,
Right.
no piece of art is the same as the other.
Right.
If it's done originally.
Exactly. And that's the way that I think about it. I could literally model the same character in animation, but then change the eyebrows, and technically it's not the same.
You technically only have to change, I think it's like 10% of an image or whatever. for it
Right.
To not be a. And I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you go off the clothes, I guess that works.
I'll change the eyebrows, I'll change the lips, I'll give her a fatter ass and some big old titties, and bam, it's a completely different
I
character.
think of that. I think of that Leonardo DiCaprio meme from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where he's like that, right? It's like,
Oh.
hey, that's our character. Hey, we hired her first. That's our money. It's like, no, dude, no, it's not. You got your money. She's moved on, right?
So are
Calm the
they're just
fuck down.
suing because she looks like that character, has nothing to do with the storyline or anything like
No,
that?
it has solely based on the fact that she looks like that character.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
silly.
Imagine two companies fighting over somebody else. It's like it's like those two guys that are like, no, it's my girlfriend. No, it's my girlfriend.
And she's just like, drama.
She's been in my mom's basement
Yeah.
the most. Number 2 story on the day, and this is kind of an update story. I actually thought Jeff would get a kick out of this.
There you go.
2 movies, a TV show, a documentary, and a book are in the works, all about the GameStop stocks. That was up in the news here recently. In addition to the 2 films in the works and the limited TV series show also being fast-tracked, another project around the GameStop stop move has been revealed. Deadline reports that the Console Wars director, Jonah Tullis, is working on a documentary around the events that saw the GameStop and the AMC stock soar. No release date or filming plans have been announced, but the documentary joins the several projects around Hollywood aiming to capture the story of the users on the Wall Street Bet subreddit who shocked Wall Street earlier this year.
So Wolf of Wall Street,
GameStop edition.
but GameStop edition.
So first thing, I don't care, and I don't think a lot of people do. And 2, if they don't call it store credit, it's a fucking flop automatically.
I love it, dude. That's so good.
Let me just go into the original. That was the update. I'll go into the original story here. The original story was actually released about a week ago. As if 2 different GameStop stock movies weren't enough, Deadline is reporting that a limited TV series are also in the works from industry newcomer Pinky Promise. Tentatively titled To the Moon, the limited series is being fast-tracked through the development and will cover the Wall Street Bets drama. This is a 3rd project on Wall Street News to go into development, with 2 others being filmed. The first is a film from MGM Grand Studios based on a book proposal by the author of The Social Network's inspiration, and the other movie will be from Netflix, starring Noah Centineo, written by the writer of The Hurt Locker.
Oh, it's gonna suck.
So I will say I was surprised that I actually did enjoy the Facebook movie, Social Network.
I love
That was
Facebook movie. It's
surprisingly
one of my
really
favorite
good
movies of
movie.
all time.
But I if they're making all that shit, so like they made the movie about Social Network.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. But they're making what now? They're making two movies.
Two movies, a documentary,
And
a limited TV series. Yeah.
So what's gonna piss me
That's
off about that? Let's
over.
say I am interested in this shit. They're all gonna be like different people, different fucking. It's not all like
Yeah.
related.
That's like
Yeah.
yeah, that's like this when they made the two movies about Steve Jobs, and one was Ashton Kutcher, and one was
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Yeah, the other one was
Why?
Magneto or whatever.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender. Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. It's like it's
Yeah.
if it doesn't tie in together,
Mhm.
and who's to say like it might like the movie might be the main concept, but then like the TV show has like a little bit more background of some other people on the subreddit or whatever, and then like
the documentary.
and then and then the documentary is like the actual people. Yeah, like dude, yeah, honestly, like just do a fucking documentary because that makes more sense.
Yeah,
honestly.
or a docu-series.
A docu-series.
Yeah.
I would do that and just call it a day. I personally don't understand why we need two movies, a documentary, a TV series, and a book. But
Stop.
I mean,
about the GameStop stock soar. Yes.
game stocks.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
all the gamers aren't going to watch that. They're going to be playing games.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about this, dude? Besides
Nobody,
Wall Street
dude.
people, like
Yeah.
there's gonna be like that one Wall Street business dude. He's like, oh, I was there for that. I'll check that out. But everybody that affected was like counting their fucking dollars and shit while they play Warzone.
There is a
Whatever, like-
very, and this is just my opinion. I have no numbers or statistics based on what I'm about to say. But in my opinion, there is a very small percentage of actual gamers out there that give two shits about any of this.
Or about
Yeah.
GameStop in general.
Yeah, there you go. The
Most of us
stocks,
don't
the
fucking
movies.
care about GameStop.
I only care about GameStop because I have a credit card with them and I buy games
Yeah.
there.
We've all been fucked over by GameStop in one way or the other.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many T-shirts I've bought from there that just shrank from the waist up. Like they just turned into crop tops.
GameStop, the best I can give you is a 5-minute web movie. No, I don't know. I feel like I have to bring in the GameStop news. It's just always been a hot topic, ever since we started doing the podcast. It's something Jeff and I get a big kick out of.
They just can't get their shit together, dude. And like this wasn't even GameStop, because I guarantee that like the CEOs of GameStop were like, all right, well, it was nice like knowing you guys. We worked really well for the last 20 years together, but now like we have to go our separate. Hang on, what was that? And then it's the phone ringing, and then they're like, hey, you guys are a fucking Fortune 500 company because of like 12 people on Reddit now. You're welcome. And now they're in a fucking business meeting with people from like
MGM
Tesla,
Graham
fucking
Studios, yeah.
EE and shit. And
Call
they're like,
Tom Cruise.
yeah. And it's just like, how the fuck did I get here, dude? Hey, you know what I mean? Like, it's like rookie of the year when that kid like breaks his arm, but then he can like pitch really fast and he plays for the Cubs. I had no idea what was going on.
No, I don't know how I got here.
Yeah. Same concept, dude. Like, GameStop did nothing for this at all. These were people. These were.
This is
like,
something they
people that were,
fell
like,
into.
Yeah, they were like, these were like anti-hedge funder people that were like, hey, fuck this. Like, they're trying to profit off this company that's going under. We can be like, hey, no, they're worth more than that. And then just drive it up. And that's the power of the fucking gamer, dude. Like,
That actually makes me feel kind of dumb though. Like I don't do the whole stock trading, shit and things like that. But I mean, damn, maybe I should have bought a stock for $5 and I could have sold it back at 400. Like, damn.
My husband has made a lot of money off stocks.
it's a good way to make money for sure.
Yeah, stocks
But-
are pretty.
But you never know. It's
Right,
it's
exactly.
Very touch and go. Like
Mhm.
it's
You watch trends,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So.
But GameStop's definitely not one of those that me personally would think of as a trend. So like that's just one of those.
GameStop's been at a 45 decline for the last.
I mean, it's not just trends though. You just got to learn the
Yeah.
read the market, and it's a lot. It's a lot of effort.
A lot of
involvement.
research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So, I mean, the
fact that a
safe
bunch
way
of
that most of us take is just don't.
Yeah, just don't. You know?
Just don't put $500 or all of your stocks into one freaking stock. Like separate
Right.
them at
Yep.
least.
Exactly. But this is like in Wolf of Wall Street, they were selling penny stocks, right? And then they were buying penny stocks and then selling those penny stocks at a higher profit, right? I mean, it's just you gotta like learn how to evaluate what the product is, what the stock is, what the company is, and just like I don't know, balance accordingly. I guess is the best way to put that. But I still think it's fucking hilarious that a bunch of chads in a fucking basement somewhere collapse the fucking stock market in a week.
Yeah.
I love it.
And the only reason I went to GameStop today is because I have a gift card that I got as a gift. Other than that, I haven't been to GameStop in years, dude.
My shit was fucking up during that whole entire time. What type of controllers did you get?
The Xbox one.
For to play on PC?
To play, certain games on PC are just not.
Oh, now you can play Tony Hawk on it.
The mouse and keyboard. Yeah. So like I've been using my PlayStation controller, but the connectivity is not the greatest sometimes. So
okay.
On
I just
activity.
got it.
All right. Number 3 on our list of stories today. I don't know if y'all heard about this. I found this shit fucking hilarious. This is over from IGN, from Wesley LeBlanc. Texas officials apologize after accidentally sending out an Amber Alert for Chucky the doll. Keep an eye out for the one about Tiffany Valentine Ray. The Texas Public Safety Department has apologized for accidentally sending out an Amber Alert emergency message that said Chucky the murderous doll from Child's Play was the suspect in a kidnapping. Amber Alerts are used to notify the public of a kidnapping or a missing child, meaning no one should have gotten one about Chucky the orange-haired, denim overalls wearing rampaging murderous doll from Child's Play, but that's exactly what happened to citizens in Texas recently, according to The Guardian. The Amber Alert, which was beamed out to all phones not just once, but 3 separate times, describes the suspect as a 16-pound, 3'1", 28-year-old doll named Chucky with red auburn hair and blue eyes, as if the description wasn't enough to confirm that that's the doll we all fear. The alert also said that Chucky was seen wearing blue denim overalls with a striped long-sleeve shirt and carrying a large knife. To top it all off, the victim in the kidnapping was Chucky's in-universe son, Glenn. It's one thing to receive this message from an unknown number, but imagine receiving this message from your state official's emergency channel. According to the Guardian, Texas Public Safety Department issued an apology saying that this is alert a result of a test malfunction and that it apologizes for the confusion that may have caused and diligently working to ensure that this does not happen again. Confusion is a bit of an understatement considering an Amber Alert like this would have been downright terrifying, but nonetheless it was a result of a malfunction and not of the horror slasher character coming to life.
Hey, give me. You guys talk about it. Give me 2 seconds. We'll be right back.
Dude, the picture is so funny.
I want to see it.
Logic Bomb's right though, like malfunction.
No,
Like,
it was somebody who was like, "Hey, we're gonna do a test," and they're like, "Let's just write this stupid thing," and like they did it.
Yeah.
And they accidentally hit send.
yeah, somebody in that office was having fun, or it was their last day, and they were like, "I'm going out with a bang." Well, that was like a few years ago, right? When the island of Honolulu got the big alert for the incoming missiles or whatever, and like everybody started going underground because they thought their island was about to get hit.
That?
No, you didn't know about that? I'm gonna pull that quick story up real quick.
Bro, the pictures of the
Missiles.
Amber Alert.
Hawaii malfunction.
That's amazing.
It was 2018. Here we go. On the morning of Saturday, January 13th, 2018, a ballistic missile alert was accidentally issued via the emergency alert system and commercial mobile alert system over television, radio, and cell phones in the U.S. state of Hawaii. The alert stated that there was an incoming ballistic missile threat to Hawaii and advised residents to seek shelter and concluded that this is not a drill. The message was sent at 8:07 a.m. Civil defense outdoor warning sirens were authorized and sounded by the state. 38 minutes later, state officials blamed a miscommunication during a drill at the Hawaii Emergency Management Agency for the first message. Governor David H. publicly apologize for the alert. The Federal Communications Commission and the Hawaii House of Representatives launched investigations into the incident, leading to the resignation of the state's emergency management administrator.
That is more terrifying than the Chucky doll thing. You know what I mean?
God, that shit was.
If I see a Chucky doll thing, I'm gonna laugh about it and
I'm
Chucky
kick it.
is weird. But if like it's the
Right.
bomb thing or whatever, I'm like freaking out.
Ballistic missile.
Totally, yeah, I would
No.
totally run underground.
Do you remember that, Jeff?
Wait,
Start digging.
2018, the ballistics missile warning went off for the state of Hawaii, and everybody freaked the fuck out. But then they came back and said it wasn't a fucking malfunction. Well, that's what I was telling them, was that this story's basically almost the same. But somebody was on their last day and was like, "Fuck this! I'm going out with a bang."
That was like the fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. Fuck you. I'm out.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
But like in like a Amber Alert.
But like,
fucking
why
Chucky.
Hawaii? You know, out of all places.
That's so great. But that also has me thinking too. You know, it would make Dead by Daylight a lot better. If one of the characters that you played as was Chucky.
I'm surprised it's not a killer on there.
That's actually, that'd be neat.
Yeah, because
Wow.
you're like
We
super
better trademark
tiny.
that.
There's a lot of like bushes and stuff that you can like hide behind, and generators and.
Sounds like a terrible fucking time.
That does sound like a terrible. Could you imagine just like doing a generator and then this little tiny doll just comes up to you?
Starts slashing your ankles.
Oddjob and Goldeneye was a fucking pain in the ass. Can you imagine Chucky? He's smaller.
Exactly.
But I
And
bet
he's
he's
nice.
faster. But I bet
he's got to be
faster.
fast.
But going back to the original story though, like I want to know if anyone actually took that alert serious. Number one. Number two is I would have just
someone-
laughed my
somebody
ass
did.
off so hard.
Somebody took it seriously.
Somebody who is really, really young or somebody who is really, really old probably thought it was real.
Wasn't nobody scared? It's the state of fucking Texas where everybody carries a gun on their hip. Nobody worried about
No,
this damn.
but somebody's grandma was like she has an iPhone but doesn't know how to use it, right?
Yeah.
So the alerts come through and she's like, "Oh, hey Jimmy, did you see this? There's a young man named Chucky. He's been lost and he's got a knife. That sounds
He'd be
dangerous."
sitting there like,
Oh man, I don't know, man. I thought that was a pretty funny story. Somebody else who doesn't apparently know how to, I don't know what the hell this shit is. Police arrest Sword and Shield hacker from selling shiny Pokemon. He made over $10,000 selling Pokemon save files. This is by Anna Diaz. From Polygon. Japanese authorities have arrested a 23-year-old man who was charged with hacking and selling save data for Pokemon Sword and Shield. According to a report from the Japanese newspaper that I'm not going to pronounce, police say that the man earned about $10,900 from altering and selling copies of Sword and Shield. The man reportedly sold a hacked Sobble last April and received 4,400 yen, which is around $44. For it, the suspect admitted to the charges. The Pokemon Company recently cracked down on Pokemon hackers. In January, the company put players with illegally modified data on notice. That this includes players that had been adding new Pokemon to Sword and Shield. The Pokemon Company said it would penalize cheating players by limiting features like access to Pokemon Home. Pokemon hackers have been testing out limits of what they can get away with for years. The company banned a wave of cheaters from Pokemon Sun and Move online services back in 2017. There are currently no details on what the fine or additional punishments will be, but under Japan's unfair competition protection law, the editing and distribution of the saved data is illegal. The only thing I have to say about this story is you obviously have nothing else better to do with your life than to sell Pokemon.
you get
Like
fucking
digitally.
deserved.
Pokemon cards?
No, the actual game, Pokemon
files.
Sword and
Yeah, the
Shield.
Sword and Shield game files.
Yeah, so you can catch
Same
Pokemon, and then those exact same Pokemon, you can catch what are called the shiny types, which are just they're higher level, better power, they're worth more. And he would
Really
take, they're really rare in the game when you get them. So he would catch them, save the file, and then sell that file to somebody else who would want that Pokemon.
Oh, okay, got it.
And
I got a good idea though. How about you fucking go punish or arrest or find the people that are hoarding all these fucking PlayStations and selling them for profit? How about you do that instead of like I don't know, a game that's 20 years old?
Yeah.
I
Like
100% agree with that statement.
Yes.
Fuck me, dude. Like, you're worried about game files when there's actual hardware out there that people are hoarding and selling for
That is
20 times
somebody's
more.
hard-earned work that they created. I guess. I don't know.
No, I agree with Steph. I agree with both of you from different points, but at the same time, like, this is Nintendo we're talking about. One of the strictest companies in the world. I mean, you can't even post YouTube videos about them without getting their consent. Like, so it does not come to any surprise to me that they did this. But again, what about the people that are hoarding all the PlayStation and Xboxes? But then you have the other side of it. Well, I worked hard to make this game. Why? Everybody needs to earn it. Like, it's confucked.
Yeah.
It really
I do
is.
not like this story.
I always have one in there. I'm sorry. I thought it was interesting. Well, you know what? I apologize, Jeff. Let me make it up to you, okay, man? I got one right here for you. Ready?
I'm just saying, dude. Like, there's other shit to fucking look for.
There is. I agree.
Bigger fish in the pond.
That's right. Well, here you go. This is gonna make it up to you, okay, man? This is from wholegames.com. I don't have a editor on this, so I do apologize, but it just says from the website here. Spider-Man's Miles Morales has reached 4.1 million copies sold. Spider-Man Miles Morales, the expansion for Insomniac's games Incredible Marvel Spider-Man, has now hit 4.1 million copies sold around the world. This is a fantastic achievement considering that the game has only been on the market for 1.5 months. Sony confirmed that the sales figure in recent earnings call. The expansion to the standalone title for the PS4 and PS5 launched on November 12th, 2020. The game actually hit 4.1 million copies sold by December 31st. This means that there's at least one more month of sales to pile up on top of the colossal figure. When the PS5 launched in the UK, Spider-Man Miles Morales was by far the biggest launch title for the console. While it wasn't an exclusive, it was a brand new title that many retailers packaged with the new console. The game was one of the first to be developed for the PS5, in mind, making it the perfect showcase game for everything the new console can do. Interesting enough, Spider-Man Miles Morales didn't manage to hit the same level of launch sale figures as the base game when it released in 2018. It debuted in third place in the UK sales chart with 71% of all copies sold for the PS5. The title then saw a sales boost of 45% around Christmas, pushing it back up the UK charts to 6th place. The game sold about 18,640 copies in Japan the first day on the market. This made it to the top selling PS5 games for the region of all time.
Nice.
Heartwarming story.
That was good. So obviously there's not a whole lot to say about that story. But the only statement that I guess or question that I have for that game, and I know it's a no-brainer. Are you surprised at all? No. Did you think that it was going to do worse or better than the original?
I figured it would do equally.
Equal?
Yeah.
Did you, Steph, did you ever get a chance to play it at all? Did you play either one of them at all? No?
No. That's something my husband would play, though.
You should, though. The stories are so good. I mean, I know you're not like a solo single person.
Well, she is off stream though.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Even if you don't stream it, like it's a good time. Like you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I like the open end game, like Cyberpunk or Fallout, where you could do a lot of venturing off. Is that Spider-Man game kind of like that, or is it just like straightforward?
No,
there's side stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch of side stuff. It's open world. Okay. Yeah. Different suits, different things to unlock, things like that.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I will have to try it.
Yeah, there's there's puzzles, there's unlockables, there's side quests, side missions, side activities. Suits. Yeah, there's like 20 something suits in each game.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, what's really cool about Miles Morales is like you actually have to do specific missions to unlock those suits, and you have to do that in the first one. So that's a really cool thing. I enjoyed that. A lot of really cool diversity stuff in there too. Like, so Miles Morales is half black, half Puerto Rican. So there's a lot of Puerto Rican representation throughout the city. A lot of Black Lives Matter, a lot of LGBTQ stuff, which is really cool.
A lot of even, and again, I'm not gonna use that word. I'm gonna see.
Words are hard.
Words are hard. I'm gonna use the word, but I don't like using the word. But a representation of special needs people. There we go. So it's, you know, as far as blind people or deaf people, things like that in the games too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that the is the game
Accessibility
based off
options?
that one movie? That
Well, no, not just the
has,
options, but like as far as like in the game and the story.
Okay.
the Spider Universe movies. Is that what it's based off of?
No, so it's
No.
basically
Okay.
it's its own entity, but Miles Morales, the video game, does cater a lot to the Into the Spider-Verse movie.
Okay.
There's a lot of like, so when you're playing it the first time and you're running through the campaign and you're just kind of swinging through the city, there is like that background music of like some like Swally type shit or like Post Malone or something like that. Like that,
Okay.
it's that lo-fi like nice upbeat kind of stuff. And there's a suit that you get, this the Into the Spider-Verse suit, and it's has two mods on there where you can actually like, it slows down the frame rate for your visual, and it looks like the movie did. And
Okay.
then there's another one for the suit itself where it reanimates itself to like the movie. So it's really, really cool. So
I think what I liked about
RC.
it so much was, especially if you go back and play the first one, it doesn't do what all, with the exception of the new Tom Holland Spider-Man movies did, was you didn't have to go through getting your powers and Uncle Ben dying and thing like that. This was years after all that's when it started.
Yeah. Like he'd already been Spider-Man for like 8 years,
Yeah, exactly.
which is really cool. But yeah, I highly suggest it.
I'll have to try it out for sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, definitely. I mean, I highly recommend it. Leading up to the second to the last story today, this is from Eurogamer by Tom Phillips. It looks like Ubisoft has delayed its Prince of Persia remake. Due to the COVID-19 situation, Prince of Persia and Sands of Time remake has been postponed to the 18th of March 2021. The original story says that Ubisoft has apparently delayed that its upcoming Prince of Persia Sands of Time. According to the publisher's Facebook page, the remake was previously due to arrive in January. Word of the delay appeared yesterday on Ubisoft's Facebook account. Though it has taken a little while for people to notice, we expect this delay will apply globally, but we are checking with Ubisoft here in the UK to be sure. 2020 was a year like no other. Ubisoft statement reads, today we would like to inform you that we need more time to complete the game. With that, the release date of Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake has been moved to March 18th, 2021. We believe that this is the right decision to ensure that we deliver a game that you like. Thank you for your patience, and we continued support of the Prince of Persia, and we hope that you remain safe and healthy during the holiday season.
Stop putting release dates on games. Stop.
You do so many things I wish I could make a GIF out of.
Fucking matter, dude. They don't fucking matter. Clip it. I don't give a shit. Stop putting release dates on games. Just be like, hey, it'll be out when we say it's gonna be out, dude.
Yeah.
And then just go from there.
I would like to have
Put
some kind of hope, though. You know.
Put
Yeah,
a release date on it,
Don't do
like
the-
when it's
don't do the
ready.
Cyberpunk thing where it's like months and months later. You know.
I mean, just don't announce a game, years before it comes out.
Or what if they did the
There you
reverse
go,
effect?
yeah.
What if they did the reverse effect? They're like, hey, this game is set to be released August 1st. And then the next thing you know, you
Yeah.
get it fucking April 2nd.
Announce the game, right? Show
That's
it
what they
off. Announce the game, show it off. Oh, hey, this is a developer build or pre-alpha build, whatever. And then
That's funny logic.
Hey, you can start marketing it and be like, hey, coming soon, right? And then when it goes gold, which is a very fucking loose term now, when it goes gold, then you can be like, hey, we're pushing for this release date. And then
it's already done. Yeah.
yeah, like have it fucking done, have it QA'd, have it everything done, have all the playtesting done, have it a build that is final, and then put a date on it, you stupid fucks.
That's what Apex did. Apex, they did no promotion for Apex. They just fucking released it, and then look where it is now. You know what I mean?
I think more games should do that. I think a lot. I mean,
should
especially the
definitely
AAA title games. Like, you know, let's say that we get like a new Last of Us or a new Uncharted or a new whatever the new Spider-Man, whatever the case may be. Like, just drop the bitch. You know, music artists are doing that shit all the time where they're just dropping out albums at midnight. Nobody has no idea, and everybody flips the fuck out the next day. The internet goes crazy. Shit, more people need to do that.
Yeah, oh fuck, oh Miley released an album. Yeah, hey guys, you could do that with your video games if you're fucking not dumb.
Right.
So, back on the topic at hand, is anybody excited for a Prince of Persia game?
I mean,
I'm so stoked for the delays, dude.
I played them growing up, but I don't really see myself getting back into it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it was like Assassin's Creed before Assassin's Creed.
So, well, then, let me ask this question. Did we play the Prince of Persia games growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
okay.
I saw the movie. I like the movie.
I can honestly say I never saw the movie.
If they had a God of War movie, I'd watch it. If they had a God of War movie before the game God of War, I would play God of War because of the movie.
Right.
I'm just like that, you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I played a couple of them, and I mean, I like the games, but I don't know. It's something I'm past now, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, I was just like, I remember them. I've played like one or two, maybe, of them.
And see, that's the thing, and I don't know why,
don't
though.
remember.
Like, I'm excited to try it because I know that it was a game in my youth, but don't ask me what the hell they were about because I sure as shit don't remember.
Yeah,
It's like a nostalgia thing.
Right, exactly.
A lot of puzzle climbing is involved with some
And, like,
fighting.
time travel and shit too, right?
Yeah, I know there's like
Like-
some time travel and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a cool game for its time. I don't know if it's something that I would jump back into, but I mean, I'm not against it coming back.
I don't know if I'll get it like as soon as it releases, but I do see myself playing at some point down the road.
I mean,
I mean, if it shows up on Game Pass or some shit, you know, I'd be like, all right, fuck it.
I feel like I feel like with this one, like Ubisoft was like just going through their files. Like, you know how like you go through old pictures and you're like, oh shit, I forgot I knew that person. Like, we used to hang out, and they're like,
Let's rehash
oh shit, I forgot we had this game. Let's fucking put it back out, dude.
Honestly,
Like-
they need to just let their Assassin's Creed team do what they're doing. They need to get the fucking Division 3 people doing their shit, and then everyone else go do that Star Wars game. Go.
He's so dumb.
Go.
Yeah, like,
That's all they
forget-
need to do, man.
Prince of Persia is just put it on Switch or something, dude. Like, I don't care. But like,
And
If you
that was
use
gonna
Connect, there's so many dumb games on there.
be my next question. Is okay. It may not resonate with us 30-year-olds, but do you think that it would possibly resonate better with the younger generation? Let's say the 10 to 15-year-olds.
I feel like it would resonate with us more than the newer generation because
Do you really?
it's
Okay.
something that we knew growing up.
Right.
right, and the
Yeah.
younger generation now is just so used to battle royale type
Right.
shit and
Mhm.
Fall Guys. and-
Taste, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, if it's done right and it's quality, which I can almost promise you it will not be, and releases within a 6-month window of the initial release date, then it might be playable later on, about a year and a half, when it's free on some sort of pass, and then I'll get it.
Hey, Steph.
Yeah.
You know, it would be really funny
What?
is if we did the rundown retrospect reverse with Jeff, and then we ask him that question at the beginning. Hey, what's this game you really hated, or you thought you would hate, but you ended up really liking? And this motherfucker goes Prince of Persia. That'd be great.
Hang on, make a note real quick.
Don't forget to hate this. The whole
Yeah. Don't forget to pick out everything about it that you don't like.
I have like a shrine in my bedroom that's like fucking anti Prince of Persia.
I haven't
Got a
looked
dartboard and you
into.
just been throwing darts at it and shit.
I haven't really looked into the remake, but I mean, fuck,
Mhm.
I could watch a video on it and decide I want to get into it. It's one of those. I don't see myself playing it, but
Mhm.
I'm not against playing it.
Yeah. No, I feel the exact same way. Well,
It's just the argument. The argument is like, it doesn't matter what game we're talking about, right? It's like, oh, hey, we promised you a release date, and now we're backtracking.
No,
It happens every time.
I disagree. I think the argument is when are we doing the rundown retrospect reverse on Jeff? That's the real argument.
Oh, Christ. You guys want to do it now? Do you want to do it now? Fuck
No.
me. You guys keep talking about it. It's all fresh on the brains.
All right, everybody. It has come to the last story of the evening. And I don't know. I'd like to think of it's the best for last because I know y'all are going to have a lot more opinions on this. But Destiny 2 players concerned about Bungie's plans for PC and console crossplay. After light versus dark comes keyboard versus controller. Bungie has left members of the Destiny 2 community concerned after publicly targeting changes to the game ahead of the addition of the full crossplay later this year, possibly signaling that it will merge mouse and keyboard and controller players in matchmaking. In the latest Bungie blog post, senior community manager DMG04 writes that this season we're making some targeted changes to weapons. To what the fuck? That's a misspelling. That needs some love as well as the beginning of the preparations for crossplay. The major change involves increasing recoil of certain weapon types solely for the mouse and keyboard players. The level of recoil closer to that, the same of the weapons being used on a controller. While this might seem relatively a small change to mention, the move is being made with crossplay in mind and has led community members to wonder if it means that the Destiny 2 PvP matchmake a mixed pool of PC and console players by default, or even as if that's an only option. It plays into the long-standing problems for players across platforms with mouse and keyboard play, seen as offering an initiative advantage, particularly in shooters. Although Destiny's 2 heavy aim assist for controller players complicates the theory a little in that case, cheating is also generally more prevalent on PC versions of games. Many current crossplay games controllers offer using the player's console choice to play only with other controller players, but Bungie hasn't specified Destiny 2's approach with that as of yet. With crossplay due later this year, details still somewhat hazy. See, I'm over here like critiquing their shit, but with details still somewhat hazy. I don't know, somebody didn't check his shit, but details still somewhat hazy. Players are speculating with the approach that Bungie will take, even though trying to alter the developer's course. At a time of writing, one of the most popular posts on the popular Destiny game subreddit is titled "Do Not Mix Console and PC PvP Player Pool by Default." And there's a lot bigger article to it. It basically just goes into a whole lot more of the exact same thing. Now that we have all gotten, we all started out on controller. We've moved to mouse and keyboard for in games. Like Evan was saying earlier, there's so many other games that are just way better on controller than they're on mouse and keyboard. What's your whole thoughts on... I want to know your thoughts on the story, but then I also want to know your thoughts on the cross-play coming to the game itself. And whether you think that's a good move or a bad move. Are you excited or are you not excited? I'm going to stop rambling and let you talk.
Two things. One, I think it's a great idea, but one, PvP in Destiny has pretty much, for the most part, always been broken in one way or another.
Right.
And whenever they fucking patch something or buff and nerf something, it rotates, right? It's a monthly broken item. And then most games, I'm not sure if all, but I know most of these crossplay games have the ability to turn crossplay off.
Right, and that was another reason I brought up this story, because if I'm not mistaken, Apex is crossplay as well, right? You can do PS4 to PC controller, mouse and keyboard. Okay, cool. I just want to make sure that she was able to have some sort of input.
If you go into the menu in Rocket League, you can turn crossplay off. If you go into the menu in Call of Duty, you can turn crossplay off. I'm sure you can probably do it in Apex, Or, worst case, fucking add crossplay, but not to the PvP portion.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, it don't matter. But, if you can't hang, toggle it off.
So, for Apex, when you take off crossplay, it takes forever to find a match.
Right.
Or whatever. But I thought on Call of Duty, when it did have crossplay, if you had people in your lobby that was just controller, you would be only with other people with controllers. If you have one person that's PC, then you'll get a PC like people
Right.
coming in. Is that how?
It opens up the pool.
Yeah, yeah.
It used to
I
be
can
like
see
that, but
that.
now it just kind of throws everybody into the hole at one time, and then it disperses from there. But it's you always are on a team with like one person on controller and three on PC, or it's whatever sort of different variation you want on that. There's I would much rather have it where it was like, oh hey, like I'm on this console, but I still want to crossplay. Like I feel like honestly the best way would be like what Evan said, is just have it on PvE and not PvP, and PvP be console specific. Still.
Or PC specific, whichever one you're playing.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because mouse and key has a significant advantage over controller. It's facts.
I think
it is. It's just facts.
There's enough people that play it that they could probably get away with just the toggle option. If you don't want to play with other PC players in PvP, turn it off.
Also, missing the boat again, right? They should have done this when Destiny 2 came out.
Yeah.
Should have just been there from the beginning.
And I mean, it's also not even always the case. I mean, some people are good enough on controller that they can hang or even outperform a lot of PC players. Look at Tosca on COD, fucking beast, or Misfire on COD, fucking beast. They could be on controller, murking PC players.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
it's gonna be a very long, bumpy road before they'll introduce it. It's gonna be broken as shit, and then it's gonna probably take about a year for them to get it straightened out to where it's actually playable.
And then probably by that time Destiny 3 will be out.
No, they're not.
Enough.
Oh, they're not.
There's enough content. There's enough content in Destiny that you don't need to do PvP at all.
Actually, you get better shit from doing PvE.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I always found that kind of strange. You always have these other games like, The Division, for example, just because that's what we've been playing, that you can go to these PvP places and get exotic gear and things like that. But when you go to one of these big name titles like Destiny itself, you don't really seem to get anything much better or different. Right?
That's one of the arguments right now with Destiny and their PvP is they've been focusing lately for the longest time mostly on PvE players.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Trials came back, but it's not.
I heard that wasn't even that great.
It's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same. So I mean, a lot of PvP players in Destiny are pretty upset that they're feeling left out or ignored.
Yeah.
Go play Call of Duty.
And stuff like no, play Apex, dude.
Or Apex. Sorry. Okay, so again, are we? How are we feeling about the crossplay?
I hope they bring it. I would love to play with all my friends again that are still on console. That'd be awesome.
We don't have an actual release date, right?
I believe this said the end of the year.
Yeah.
That's
And his release dates, man.
It's for real.
You don't like. I've always said, and I've said this from the beginning of the podcast till today, don't put out a game until it's ready. Like, just don't. Like, if you have to push it back, then do it. But don't give us false hope. Don't give us a pretend release date if the game's not going to be ready.
I appreciate the by the end of the year instead of an actual date, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Cyberpunk was like, oh, we're coming out, what is it, November, whatever? Like, almost the end of November, like, close to Thanksgiving. And then they're like, actually...
It's coming out in September.
Yeah.
It was September.
It got pushed to November,
Yeah, which I found so funny because in August, Best Buy put up this big old banner on the front of the store. And you know how big their stores are, so it was a big fucking banner. And it had the release date for it. And then like 2 days later, after that humongous ass banner was up, the game got delayed. And it was so funny walking into work and seeing that banner. And I'm like, nah, that game ain't coming out. Y'all fucked up.
But like, imagine being like on the marketing team, right? And then they're like, oh, hey, the release date for whatever. And then the devs like go to like the person in charge of marketing. They're like, hey, guy. Hey, Bruce, come here.
Bruce.
Bruce.
I need
all fucking names.
I need you I need you to do me a solid and take a bullet. I need you to release to the public that we need more time. Well, how much time do you need there, Greg? Well, Bruce, let me tell you. We're going to tell you 2 weeks, and then we'll go from there.
They're like, look, we got the game 100% ready, but what happened was, so we fixed it, but we forgot to save it.
Wow.
Oh my God.
So we got to
You
redo it. Push it back another 2 months.
There was an update, and then it just reset everything.
Oh man.
It's like, oh, so you making games in Streamlabs? Yes, Bruce, we are.
Just a Streamlabs whole thing.
Because I just thought that was so funny because they're like, yeah, it's coming out at the end of November, and then like, nah, December 10th sounds better. Let's do that. It's like, why though?
Kidding.
Like what? Like, was that a marketing thing for like holiday sale? Maybe. I don't know. Man.
Yeah, I as far as the crossplay goes for Destiny, I hope that they do it.
I want to.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
I want it. I want it. Like, I want to play
Yeah.
with. There's so many people that play on different consoles. Like we,
Yeah.
Evan and I used to be part of a Destiny clan, and most of them moved to PC. And we can't, like, we couldn't do that, right? Like, I refuse to play Destiny on PC. And
Yeah, still to this
now
day, you
that-
still don't play on PC, right?
yeah, no, I won't.
Yeah, I didn't
because
think so.
I have a clan on PS4 that I
Yeah.
enjoy playing that game with.
All of your
and,
data's on PS4.
Yeah, well, and even
Well,
cross
it's
save.
got-
Oh,
that's right,
cross save, that's right.
But like with crossplay, I can play with my old friends again. I can play with new friends that I've made in the community that play on like Basic Dirty D. He plays on Xbox, right? I want to play this game with him really badly, but I can't.
Does he?
So-
I thought he plays on PC.
Or PC. Oh yeah, PC. That's right. He plays. Yeah, it's Halo on Xbox. But now I can play that game with them, right? And that's exciting. But also, how broken is this going to be? Like, there's a lot of options that need to be weighed out before I think they need to worry about
How long
releasing
has
it.
Destiny 2 been out? Or how long has this game been out?
Destiny 2's been out for 4 years. It originally released in 2014.
So when Apex switched over to crossplay, which was last year, I think, it did have a few things that they had to fix, but I mean, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
There was like sound issues, really. We couldn't hear the Xbox players. But I think everything is evolving to be crossplay now and more compatible.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah.
I
'Cause
think
we-
it won't be bad.
We talked about it before too. Is like it really segregates the gaming community when you do stuff like that. Like when you make console specific stuff.
Yeah.
And like, don't get me wrong. Like I do enjoy my exclusives for PlayStation, but like I said, it still very very much segregates the entire community,
Mm-hmm.
especially
Yeah.
on big games like that.
But what
Mhm.
games do you know now that are console based? Like I think
single
Fable,
player
Fable
story based games.
yeah, like Fable was Xbox only, right?
Yeah.
And see,
And then you got like God of War, Uncharted, Last of Us, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
mm-hmm.
And those are what all PS4
Exclusives, yeah.
Even Horizon was PS4 exclusive.
For the
at
well,
first.
see, yeah, Horizon and Death Stranding both were for the longest time, and I don't exactly know why, but like both of those games moved over to PC as well. And everybody was like super butthurt for that for the longest time. And I remember doing that article with Jeff over a year ago, and I'm like, who gives a fuck? People get to play the game. Let them play the game. Like,
Yeah.
but like those, unless it's those big AAA titles that come out of Sony, those are the only console based ones.
Yeah, and they don't do like their focus is mainly on story driven games. Like you won't see a lot of co-op stuff at all, really. Like in Days Gone was another console exclusive for
Dude, I love that game, dude.
for PlayStation. But yeah, they tend to cater away from doing all that, and I think that's a smart decision. I feel like they're just trying to avoid the topic that we're discussing right now. They're just trying to shy away from that as much as possible so they don't get caught up in it.
Mhm.
Well, and then wouldn't they make more money? Like the people who created the game, wouldn't they make more money if they were available on all consoles for more people to buy? Because not, you know what I
So,
mean?
yeah, but there's
Not a lot
So
of people
that's,
have
but
Xboxes
that's
and a
not
lot
the,
of people have
but that's not
PS4s.
their argument. And no, you're 100% right. Yes, they would.
there's
But
contractual obligations too, right? Between the studios and
between the studios and the console makers, right? Exactly. They go to the
Oh.
studio and they're like, okay, we want you to make a game, but we want it on our console. So they sign it. They sign a contract. Yes, we'll make the game for your console. But their mindset is, okay, we're going to try and put out the best game that we can, so that they have to now buy our console.
Okay, so it's like reverse.
Right,
from what I was
exactly.
thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I always had that exact same mindset. So I was like, just put it on one and everybody's happy. But then it's like, no. And Jim Ryan's notorious for this. He's come out 100 times and said, no, we're not putting these on other consoles. We want you to buy our console.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you like $500. I'm gonna buy a $60 game versus buying a whole console, though. Just saying. I'm just not
Right.
gonna play that game then. You know.
Right, but obviously, like the people that are going to buy that game already have that console, and that's why they want to buy that game, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody has that specific reason why they cater to one thing or the other, right? So, like, I cater to PlayStation because of the titles, like the independent titles, like Infamous, and like that was like my starter one, right? And like Second Son, and then when Watch Dogs first came out, was that Xbox and PlayStation? I can't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah, it was. It was PS3 and Xbox.
Yeah, and so after that was I got The Last of Us Remastered, and then God of War. Anyway, long and short of it is like those were very specific games, and that's why I had that console, was because those were the games that I preferred. And Xbox to me was always like, oh hey, like that's the console I want to play like Halo or like any sort of like massive multiplayer thing, right? So like like people are gonna buy these games because they have that console, basically.
Right. I get it.
Mhm.
Let's see. I only have a PlayStation here, so I'm just gonna keep playing PlayStation games.
Same.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't even know where mine's at right now.
If it's in the same spot it was, it's to your right, down on the floor.
We did take it off the floor.
Oh,
I think
okay.
it's in one of those drawers behind me.
Gotcha.
Mine's still on the floor, and I still play it.
If I had a good enough computer, I would probably switch fully to PC if the games were on PS4 or whatever. But I do like playing with a PS4 controller. I don't know.
So to make your PC better only costs you about like $200.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Let's get what did we do, Michael? A motherboard and some RAM.
Yeah, but I could have swore your motherboard was $200 alone.
Well, yeah. I mean, like she doesn't have to get the same one I got, right? Like, I mean, there's
Right.
cheaper
Well,
motherboards that are
yeah.
better
Just
than-
get you a better motherboard. I'd recommend something for like around $150, and then get you at least 16 gigabytes of RAM. You can get those typically on sale for like $80.
I'll have to ask my husband what he put in this thing because he custom built this PC.
Oh well, then.
I don't know what he put in it though. So.
Yeah.
But also, hit up Michael if you need some stuff like computer stuff.
Oh, like items?
I work.
That discount.
I work at Best Buy.
Okay. Okay. We'll see. We had a computer parts store here in Indy, and they closed down. But that's where my husband was getting all of his parts, and he doesn't get any parts anymore because they closed down.
What was it called? If you don't mind me asking.
Fries Electronics.
Fries.
love
Oh, I remember
Fries.
Fries.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love Fry's Electronics. That place is
Yep.
awesome.
He would look like like kids. They go to the freaking
Mhm.
zoo or something like that. And they're
Yeah.
just,
That was me.
that was my husband.
That was me. Yep.
Straight to like the PC parts, and I'm like, you can't even do anything. You just stare at these
Fry's
like.
Electronics is amazing.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm picturing like you guys are just like walking really slow into Fry's. The automatic doors open. You walk through, and then he just fucking bolts out to the back of the store, and you're just like,
I guess I'll just go check out like the other stuff on the other side of the store because it was a big store. It had like
We'll meet back in the middle. Break.
yeah.
I used
Where the
to go
little
there in
papaya-
California and Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, for all 8 of you that are here, I really hope that you appreciate today's Rundown podcast. We had the greatest opportunity to have Steph Law here come and join us and talk about the news stories today. We are going to get out of here, but a few things before we get out of here. For all of you video and audio listeners, this episode will be up Tuesday. You will have your Rundown retrospect with Miss Unicorps dropping on Wednesday. Both of those are going to go out, I'd say probably about 1, 2 o'clock. Second thing, too, if you didn't already know, the Rundown podcast will be teaming up with Extra Life from now until the end of March. So, again, please go check them out. Steph, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter and Twitch at _Law. Law.
Okay, Steph _ Swa. Wah.
What?
Swa.
Steph Law _ Law.
Yes.
And like I said earlier, I really enjoyed both of these episodes so much. We haven't had an hour and a half podcast in a long time. Holy crap.
Yep.
Steph, thank you so much for being here. We
You're welcome.
really appreciate it. Yeah. Good for him. Everybody?
Hey,
We have the Buccaneers now. What?
Yeah.
He has no affiliation. He just plays for whatever team is
Oh,
for the week.
okay.
This is the Rundown podcast. We will see y'all all next week. And please remember.
Actually.
I'm not done.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, thank you. Please remember, don't be a dick.